Penguin Random House Audio presents The Keeper by Jessica Moore, read for you by Elizabeth Bauer. Death? Seen him, loads of times. Average height, brownish hair. Couldn't tell you what colour his eyes are, but I can tell you he's nothing special to look at. Death's just a bloke. He doesn't look angry or sad or evil, just a bit bored. At the end of the day, he's a guy with a job to do. So what happens is he comes up to you and he opens your mouth and then he just pulls the life out of you. It's like a dentist pulling out a tooth. Imagine that. 1. Then. Katie leans over the bar. She shouts her order in the ear of the bored-looking bartender, whose long ponytail is as pretty and silky as a girl's. She and her friends have only been in the club for an hour. The watery assault on the senses and calculated euphoria have started to wear off, but they aren't yet so drunk that they've been enveloped by generosity and money has stopped mattering. It's a wrench to bellow the order for 7 drinks. She's starting to feel a bit sick. She didn't have dinner. Along the bar, a boy is smiling absently at her. He's the kind of boy she'd never normally look at uninvited. His face looks like it was painted in bold brushstrokes, blonde hair, almost cherubic features. Yet the soft, full lips and long lashes are assembled against high, flat cheekbones, languid bedroom eyes. He looks like he was composed with a purpose, rather than being, like everyone else, the product of random genetic entropy. He's beautiful. So beautiful that Katie doesn't bother to ask herself if he's her type. He's everyone's type, surely. An objective work of art. He smiles at her more distinctly, his eyes coming into focus. They're green, not the expected blue. They cut through the club haze, looking straight at her. Or maybe not. Maybe that's just a trick of the light. Katie looks hurriedly away. £42, please. The barman holds out the card machine, en garde. By the time Katie's finished fumbling with her pin and has returned her debit card to her bra, the beautiful boy is gone. She takes the tray of mojitos to the cramped grouping of leather poofs where her friends sit, 2 to a poof. She yells above the noise that she's going outside for a minute, and leaves, taking her drink with her. She can sense the disgruntled looks shooting from smoky eyes and catching into her back. She feels guilty. They haven't all been together like this since they graduated and came back home. Most of her friends are on day release from their relationships. Serial monogamists, all of them. 7 years at a girls' school will do that to you. It's February. The quiet, wintry air settles Katie's senses, a cooling shower on her overheated skin. She drifts towards the edge of the smoking area. Really, it's just a section of alleyway behind the club with a couple of empty glasses on the floor. For years, it's been ruled over by the same gregarious Polish bouncer who used to remember her name. There are no ashtrays or seats, only men in sweaty polyester shirts and squeaky brogues, smoking roll-ups and leaning unnecessarily close to speak to eager-looking girls. Their edges seem blurry against the night, as if they might float away like large, pale balloons. Katie watches it all. No one seems to see her. She has always done this, wandered off by herself on nights out. Her friends are used to it. Perhaps it's an odd thing to do, but it helps her, and it doesn't seem to harm anyone else. It soothes something. To call the something an anxiety attack would feel too self-absorbed, but there is definitely something in her that needs soothing, especially today. Being here, being home, drags Katie's heart down, but for now she doesn't have a choice. Home is on the outer fringes of what can reasonably be considered London, though the association is more by map than spirit. It's a 25-minute train journey from the centre of things, although rush hour stretches out that time span indefinitely. Here, a lone suicide on the train tracks can throw a whole swathe of London's workforce into an agony of grumbling, packed as they are onto the slender margin of a single railway line. People move here for the good schools and stay because the property prices dart upwards, just as surely as gravity pulls everything else down. Fresh graduates return to their parental homes like flocks of migrating birds. Nothing can go too badly wrong here. It's difficult to leave. Or maybe it's just easy to stay. Being home means being out. Out. Even though this group of friends made far more sense in the context of ibuprofen in school bags, borrowed class notes, a seemingly endless sense of imprisonment. Being in a bar with them, drinking the alcohol they'd once coveted so distantly, wearing the short skirts they'd been forbidden from, it doesn't feel quite right. But they've all trickled back home. So, here they are. Every day they head into the city to populate Excel spreadsheets in different offices, telling themselves that it's somehow connected to their degrees, or else just that it's experience. Going out seems like the obvious thing to do with these early paychecks. Now Christmas is entirely over, they might as well come to terms with the fact that this, for the time being at least, is where they are. Katie doesn't smoke, but she wishes she did. It would give her something to do, and save her from wondering if people think she looks odd out here by herself. Hi. The man who steps in front of her, seemingly from nowhere, is thin and dark, maybe an inch or two taller than her. His build is wiry. He probably weighs less than her, but he seems to take up space in a decisive way that she's immediately drawn to. He looks at her with a directness that makes everyone else's eyes seem veiled. I'm Jamie. He smiles at her, holding out his hand with a formality that she assumes is ironic. Hi, Jamie. She feels like she's being set up for a joke that won't include her. She waits a couple of beats too long before replying, I'm Katie. He doesn't say anything further, but seems to wait, his mouth smiling and his body relaxed, his eyes following the lines of her face as if examining a map. She shifts, her ankles twisting slightly above her pencil heels. She wonders if her face is red. I didn't see you inside. No. I wasn't enjoying it much. Came out here. I'm guessing you were feeling something similar. She nods. But you must have been enjoying it a bit, or else you'd leave. She smiles, because that's an answer in itself to statements like those. Maybe going to clubs is worth it, he says, even if only so you can find the people who aren't into clubs either. She laughs. She doesn't find his comment funny, but he grins as if he's expecting a laugh, so she provides it. They amble in the usual circles of half-drunk conversation. She asks the usual questions. Come here much? What do you think of this DJ? She forgets his answers almost as soon as he gives them, focusing instead on the timbre of his voice. It's deep and strong, and very discernibly male, accented a few layers of privilege below her own. What do you do? The question slips out just a second or two before she's thought about it properly. She shrinks inside. That question wasn't on the set list. She's made this mistake before, and men have looked at her with seasoned disappointment, as if she has just signalled to them a fundamental incompetence at living in the moment. But Jamie doesn't seem to mind. I'm a prison officer. Well, juvenile facility. He folds his arms. His movements have the studied sharpness of a newly trained actor. Yeah? Maybe this line of conversation is an unexpected rope that she can pull herself along. Do you like it? No, but the pay's decent. Yeah, she laughs. I know the feeling. That's life, I guess. But it'll get better. I know it will. His eyebrows are thick and surprisingly black, which gives an air of resolution to all his expressions. He seems like someone who keeps his ideas hard and simple, like daggers that can be drawn cleanly from their sheaths. Katie likes that. They keep talking. Her attention, such as it is, sways when the beautiful boy from the bar comes outside and stands alone at the other end of the smoking area. Half is caught following the disintegrating column of ash between his long fingers. Maybe Jamie will excuse himself before it burns away completely. But he doesn't, and the beautiful boy doesn't linger, and Katie and Jamie talk on. At a break in the flirt,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?